Om Aganda Timarandasya Ganajana Shivakaya Chakshur Umrisamyena Tajma Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Krishna Kirtana Bhanana Tanapano.
Hare Krishna. Welcome back to this video series on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, translated by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We are currently on Chapter 10, the opulence of the Absolute. In Chapter 10, Krishna explains his opulence more specifically and thereby reveals himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all. Krishna also tells how his pure devotees know that he is the unborn Supreme Lord, the source of all sages, the source of material and all spiritual worlds, and the source of all qualities and attitudes. After hearing of Krishna's opulence, Arjuna confirms Krishna as the Supreme Lord by quoting authorities and explains that only Krishna can truly know himself. Text number 1. The Supreme Lord said, "My dear friend, mighty armed Arjuna, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit, and which will give you great joy. Neither the host of demigods, nor the great sages know my origin, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. He knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the Supreme Lord of all the worlds. He, undiluted among men, is freed from all sins. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, self-control, and calmness, pleasure and pain, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy are created by me alone. The 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, are born out of my mind, and all creatures in these planets descend from them. He who knows in truth this glory and power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. The lives are surrendered to me. They derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with a shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance." At the end of the 9th chapter, Krishna described pure devotional service and how he reciprocates with his devotees. Krishna concluded that chapter with his most confidential instruction, Manmana bhava madbhakto. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Krishna now will continue to reveal the confidential essence of knowledge, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. Chapter 10 is entitled The Opulence of the Absolute, Vibhuti Yoga. And herein Krishna further describes his opulence, potencies, and position. It is impossible for anyone to fully understand his own source. Krishna is the source of the demigods. The demigods are his creations, so even the demigods are unable to know him. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that if one puts forward the argument that the reason demigods are unable to know Krishna is because they are too attached to sense gratification, Krishna defeats that argument in this verse. He says that even the sages who are detached from sense gratification cannot know him. No one can understand Krishna's origin and opulence without hearing from him or his devotees. Everything emanates from Krishna. He is Swayam Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not only Krishna who says this about himself. Srila Prabhupada provides numerous quotations from Vedic literature to support Krishna's statement. In his purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that one who understands Krishna perfectly from a bona fide spiritual master will worship him with great love and attention. Thus, knowing of his greatness leads to full surrender, and full surrender is followed by bhava, love. Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan comments that Madgata Pranaya indicates that Krishna is the life of his devotees. They cannot live without him any more than a fish can live without water. Krishna is their life, and Krishna Katha, talking about Krishna, is their nourishment. Thus devotees converse about Krishna among themselves in great love. They loudly chant Krishna's names and discuss his pastimes, form, and attributes. A pure devotee's attraction to Krishna is as natural as the attraction between young boys and girls. Krishna's devotees understand him not only by hearing about him, but also because Krishna enters their hearts and reveals himself to them. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur herein defines Buddhi Yoga as Krishna's direct inspiration. Because the devotees intensely desire to know Krishna, he gives them complete understanding of himself. Srila Prabhupada discusses this in his purport. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization, but still, if he is not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness and, with love and devotion, render all kinds of services. Srila Prabhupada stresses the wonderful inspiration Krishna gives to reciprocate with his pure devotees' loving worship. When we understand who Krishna is and how he reciprocates with his pure devotees, we naturally desire to surrender unto him. When we surrender unto the all-powerful, all-knowing, supreme personality of Godhead, we attain true security and peace. Devotees see everything as Krishna's mercy, and thus they know that nothing unfavorable can befall them. Their faith and knowledge grant them peace even in the most difficult circumstances. Now, for the first time since Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, text 2, Arjuna will speak. In the next 7 verses, Arjuna expresses his acceptance of everything Krishna has said and asks to hear more. Text number 12. Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth, and the eternal divine person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. All the great sages such as Narada, Asishta, Devala, and Vyas proclaim this of you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all you have told me. Neither the gods nor demons, O Lord, know thy personality. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own potencies, O origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, O Supreme Person, Lord of the universe. Please tell me in detail of your divine powers by which you pervade all these worlds and abide in them. How should I meditate on you, and in what various forms are you to be contemplated, O blessed Lord? Tell me again in detail, O Janardana, of your mighty potencies and glories, for I never tire of hearing your ambrosial words." The blessed Lord said, "Yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. I am the Self, O Gudakesh, seated in the hearts of all creatures. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of light, I am the radiant sun. Of Marishi, I am the Marats. And among the stars, I am the moon. Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods I am Indra. Of the senses I am the mind. And of the living beings I am the living force, knowledge. And of all the Rudras I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas I am the Lord of wealth, Kuvera. And of the Vasus I am fire, Agni. And of the mountains I am Meru. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief, Brihaspati, the Lord of devotion. Of generals I am Skanda, the Lord of war. And of the bodies of water I am the ocean. Of great sages I am Brigu. Of vibrations I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices I am the chanting of the holy names. And of the immovable things I am the Himalayas. Of all trees I am the banyan tree. And amongst the sages and demigods I am Narada. Of the singers of the gods, Gandharvas, I am Chivratsa. And among perfected beings I am the sage Kapila. Of horses know me to be Uchaisvara, who rose out of the ocean, born of the elixir of immortality. Of lordly elements I am Ayurvata, and among men I am the monarch. Srila Prabhupada states that Arjuna is teaching us the mood in which we should accept Krishna's words. Srila Vedabase Bijabhushan comments that Arjuna calls Krishna Keshava. K refers to Lord Brahma, and Sa to Lord Shiva, and Va indicates that Krishna binds Brahma and Shiva with knowledge of himself. He thus makes them his devotees. How then can they independently understand Krishna? What to speak of him being known by less powerful demigods or demons? Therefore, only Krishna can truly know himself. Arjuna asked Krishna to tell him of his opulence, though Krishna has already explained that he is everything, aham sarvasya prabhavo. Arjuna, however, is requesting more information. Why? Because he wants to think of Krishna. Krishna recommended this process to Arjuna at the end of chapter 6. Mad kante natar atmana. Always abide in me. Think of me within yourself. And in the last verse of chapter 9, man mana bhav mad bhaktya. Always think of me and become my devotee. Krishna also told Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, text 7, that being factually convinced of his opulence will purify him and inspire him to engage in pure devotional service. Therefore, Arjuna wants to hear more about Krishna from Krishna himself. Srila Prabhupada explains that Arjuna has asked about Krishna's all-pervading opulence on behalf of the common man, who finds it easier to concentrate his mind on physical representations than on Krishna's spiritual form. Srila Prabhupada writes, the superior devotee is concerned not only for his own understanding, but for the understanding of all mankind. So Arjuna, out of his mercy, because he is a Vaishnava, a devotee, is opening for the common man the understanding of the all-pervasiveness of the Supreme Lord. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes an objection that could be raised by Krishna. But haven't I already said that all things are my opulent expansions? In my statement, I am the source of all things. And I haven't already discussed devotional service in my own words? Understanding this, the wise worship me. Arjuna responds to this in the verse 18. O Janardana, with the sweet nectar of your instructions, you are generating in me a greed to hear, thus agitating me and impelling me to beg for more. What else, then, can I do but beg? While imbibing the nectar of Krishna's instructions, Arjuna's ears are acquiring the ability to taste as if they were tongues. Srila Prabhupada shares more on this quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 19. One can never be satiated even though one continuously hears the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, who is glorified by excellent prayers. Those who have entered into the transcendental relationship with Krishna relish at every step the descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord. Thus Arjuna is interested in hearing about Krishna, and specifically how he remains the all-pervading Supreme Lord. Krishna then describes his opulences, which he will continue to do for the remainder of this chapter. Krishna begins his description by saying Hata. Hata is a form of address expressing tenderness. Krishna is so pleased by Arjuna's inquiry that he reciprocates by saying, "Oh Hata, yes, I will speak about my opulences." Krishna then starts to describe how he may remember him when viewing the greatest manifestations in this world. But first, he explains that he is the super soul in everyone's heart. Text 28. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the Sarabi, givers of abundant milk. Of procreators, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vasuki, the chief. Of the celestial Naga snakes, I am Ananta. Of the aquatic deities, I am Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama. And among the dispensers of law, I am Yam, the lord of death. Among the Daityas, demons, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subduers, I am Time. Among the beasts, I am the lion. Among the birds, I am Garuda, the feathered carrier of Vishnu. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Ram. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of the flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self. And among the logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Among letters, I am the letter A. And among compounds, I am the dual word. I am also inexhaustible time. And of creators, I am Brahma. I am all devouring death. And I am the generator of all things yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, and faithfulness and patience. Of hymns, I am the Brihat Sama. And of poetry, I am the Gayatri verse, sung daily by Brahmins. Of months, I am November and December. And of seasons, I am the flower-bearing spring. I am also the gambling of cheats. And of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory. I am adventure. And I am the strength of the strong. Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudev. And of the Pandavas, I am Arjun. And of the sages, I am Vyas. And among great thinkers, I am Usana. Among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement. And of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence. And of the wise, I am wisdom. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Know that all beautiful, glorious, and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Krishna has explained here just some of his opulence. If one had unlimited mouths and unlimited ears, there's no end to hearing and describing the opulence and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Japa is the simplest form of sacrifice. Yajnanam japa yagnoshmi. Krishna says, of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names. In his purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, of all sacrifices, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the purest representation of Krishna. Time, as Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, text 32, is the great destroyer of the world. By time's influence, everything within this world is created, maintained, and destroyed. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada comments that the Rama referred to in text 31 is Parshuram because Krishna is explaining his vibhutis, his opulences, not his incarnations. Parshuram is a living entity empowered, Saktivesh, to wield weapons. In text 20, Krishna said he was the beginning, middle, and end of all beings. Srila Vedabase says that in the verse he is referring to all sentient beings. In text 32, however, Krishna says that he is also the beginning, middle, and end of every non-sentient creation. Nyan logic teaches various ways to reach a conclusion, including Vitanda, Vada, and Jalpa. Krishna says, I am Vada, the natural conclusion. Vada is debate carried out fairly according to standard rules without trying to force the establishment of a particular conclusion. Vitanda is quibbling or merely destructive argument in which one tries to defeat the opponent by any means possible, but does nothing substantial to positively prove one's own thesis. Japa, using various deceptive means to fool the opposition, is unfair argument. Vitanda and japa are forms of argument in which winning and not necessarily determining the truth is the main consideration. Krishna states in verse 34 that among women I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfast, and patience. Many qualities in Sanskrit language are considered feminine, and among them these 7 represent Krishna. Men may also possess these qualities. Srila Prabhupada explains in his purport, the 7 opulences listed, fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience, are considered feminine. If a person possesses all of them or some of them, he becomes glorious. In text 42, Srila Prabhupada summarizes the entire chapter. If, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulences and expansions of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Krishna and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. The Lord is all-pervading. By the expansion of his partial representation, the Supersoul, he enters into everything that is. Pure devotees therefore concentrate their minds in Krishna consciousness, in full devotional service. Therefore they are always situated in the transcendental position. Devotional service and worship of Krishna are very clearly indicated in this chapter in verses 8 through 11. That is the way of pure devotional service. That ends this chapter. Thank you for watching. Hope you return when we will discuss chapter 11 entitled The Universal Form. Hare Krishna.
Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghunatam Sri Jiva Gopalakam Krishna Kirtana Ganana Tana Param Primam Tambani Vira Dhira Jana Priya Kana Nima Sadam Pujito Krishna Kirtana